Hello, I'm the Curator, and this is today's item. This is an item that I've been wanting to talk about for quite a while. Mindtrap 2, published by Spears Games, created by Mindtrap Games Inc. in 1977, as it says on the box. Age 12 to adults, 2 players or teams, under license to blah 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 blah. Now, I've played Mindtrap 1, and it's a rather intriguing game. It challenges lateral thought instead of simple knowledge, and there's been a sort of vogue of games of this nature, and indeed question books. I've got one that I might talk about. Like someone I knew said one to me, just for example, 20 people were in a boat, and the boat crashed and they all drowned. 24 heads washed up. How is this possible? Now, at the top, as you just start off to think about it, it sounds like impractical, and you might come up with answers like, "Oh, 4 people were already dead," but that's not, thinking laterally. That's not logical. But if you sort of dissect the question, 24 heads. 24 heads. That's how 20 people, they all had 4 heads, and they all washed up. It's as simple as that when you think about it. And this is sort of a master of that game. It's got a lot of questions, huge brick of questions, huge brick of questions times 2, huge brick of questions times 3. I owned Mindtrap 1. And it was a lot more simple than this. I shall have to buy it again because I lost all the, I suppose you can't say pieces, because it was basically just, it didn't even have a game board. It was just like a sort of pad of game sheets that you sort of played on, and you didn't have pieces, didn't really have dice. You sort of moved one square at a time. You can see this one is more a board game. The other one was sort of like it was just like a question and answers game. And this one has more sort of visual puzzles, which you have to work out, and it also has a couple of props, as well as the die. You've got these are supposed to be sort of matchsticks, tangram pieces, a die which goes to, it's got 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. Basically, you're not moving very far with it. It's got 2 M pieces, one green and one blue. This is more sort of, as it says on the box, it says it will challenge the way you think and see. The original was more just thinking, but this one is thinking and sort of visual and spatial tasks as well. I'm not opposed to that, of course. I mean, lateral thinking is one thing, but you need to challenge other sectors of your brain as well, and this is sort of the ideal way to do it. You start, as you can see, Team 2 finish, Team 2 start. Indeed, as you probably saw, the board is sort of an optical illusion. You go around here. It's not a very long board. End up there, and your Team 1, you go around there. You end up there. It's not a long game. You're given a set amount of time. I don't have a timer with me. I think I've got plenty of egg timers about, so I'm not one for that. It came with a timer, I believe. But you have a sort of, what you do is you sort of roll the dice, you go that amount of spaces, and the time ticks down, and you have to answer the question you're given. Like, you'd have, I can't remember how long it is. It's either 30 seconds, a minute, or 2 minutes. Like that 24 heads question I've just said, you had that amount of time to solve that. And if you managed it, you got to move. You sort of rolled the dice, answer the question, and then move. I think you do. If you don't answer it, then you stay still, obviously. It might be intriguing to go backwards that couple of spaces. If you get it wrong, then you have to go back 1 or 2 spaces. I don't know. I have to read the rules properly. I've been more enamoured with the questions. I am slightly cheating because I've read most of the question cards. If I were to play this with something, they'd have to beat me with a stick, and then I'd, wake up with amnesia, and then, I'd un-amnesia myself by the end of the game. Hopefully, that's not a master plan, but I might just have to be like the question asker or the invigilator, because I've read all the answers. Is it worth getting? Most certainly. It's an incredibly, incredibly clever game, and it may seem a bit sort of a lot of the questions you may go, no, that's wordplay is something we Brits do that make people want to injure us severely. And that's just the way it is. It is incredibly clever, and it will challenge the way you think and the way you see, obviously, as it says on the box. And yeah, it's another game that I'll probably play with friends. Do a let's play of. That'd be quite intriguing. It might last a while because I'm dense, but if I were at the Invigilator, I wouldn't have to worry about answering the questions. Let the cleverer friends of mine work that out for me instead. I will reobtain Mindtrap 1, and I will show you that. But for now, Mindtrap 2, incredibly clever board game for not just incredibly clever men, but if you'll definitely feel clever by the end of it if you get some of the answers correct. I think that all in all, that is all I have to say. It's created in Canada by Mr. Fast, I think his name was. I can't remember his first name. That's what the ruffling of pages that you heard. I was trying to find out where I'd written it down. Richard Fast, yes. Created in Canada. Sequel of Mindtrap, and Mindtrap was released in 1991, so that's 6 years it got, as a sequel. Mindtrap still has a website which you can visit. I think it's www.mind-trap.com or something like that. I am not sure. You might have to look it up on Wikipedia or something of that nature. But if you do find it, have a lovely time. And I think that's all I need to say. Thank you very much for watching, and good day to you all.